everyone, it's Dr. Ramani. So let's face it, and sometimes in these relationships, it's not really about the truth, is it? Narcissistic relationships are riddled with betrayal and lies, right? So some of the most common versions of this are a partner not only cheating on you, but then lying about cheating on you. A narcissistic family member sharing something you shared with them in confidence and then denying that they shared it. Or a narcissistic friend going out with your group of friends and not telling you about it and then lying about having done it despite there being a social media post about it. Or a narcissistic colleague who takes credit for your work and then claims that they didn't, right? The narcissistic betrayal is often a 1-2 punch. Not only will the narcissistic person do a bad thing, they do that all the time, but then they'll lie about it, gaslight you about it. I mean, it's the old saying, right? The cover-up is often worse than the crime. Now, this is a major driver of why people ruminate when they're in a narcissistic relationship. Because you get stuck thinking about the lies, about the cover-ups. You start feeling like a detective in your own life all the time, right? A narcissistic relationship where there's all this betrayal happening is like living in your own personal true crime movie or a murder mystery movie that you watch twice so then you can see all the clues you missed the first time, except it's your actual life and you're always combing your own life for clues and waking up in the middle of the night and saying, oh my gosh, let me go back to that text. There's a suspiciousness that hangs over narcissistic relationships. Not only do you not fully trust them, but your intuition in the relationship will never be fully confirmed because they're never going to tell you the truth. Now, some people in these relationships hire private detectives and get the lies confirmed. Others may get it confirmed by seeing something on a phone or a tablet, or other observers see that, the narcissistic person doing the bad thing. But here is where it all gets tricky. Is what's happening in these relationships really about the truth? If you really get the narcissistic person cornered in a lie, they may finally cop to the lie, but not without gaslighting you. They'll say, okay, fine, you caught me. What did you expect after you didn't appreciate me enough or you never noticed me? Or, my gosh, you're so sensitive. Yes, I told your sister what you told me, but really you are such a little princess thinking that anyone cares. Or they'll say something like, oh, okay, so yes, I got together with them. You and the kid and the babysitting. I mean, sometimes we just want to be spontaneous. And okay, so I did something spontaneous. Or someone you work with saying, okay, whatever. Yes, I did it. Why can't you just be a team player? But it's easy when you're in a relationship where you're being lied to. It's easy to get obsessed with this idea of the truth. You want them to own it. You want them to say it. You want them to take responsibility for the lie. Even if they gaslight you, it's easy to get obsessed with wanting them to cop to the truth, to the lie, whatever it is. But frankly, that may be the wrong fight, because none of this is really about the truth. It's about how they talk with you while you're in the midst of sharing your discomfort about something. Most people, healthy people, do not just randomly accuse a partner of infidelity. There's something that's happening in the relationship that drives their beliefs. There's something shady, right? Nor do we like having people share our secrets or not include us or steal our work. And we don't like being lied to. That's a human being thing. Human beings don't do well with lying, cheating, and betrayal. You want to geek out on this stuff? Go look up Leah Cosmedy's work. Her work on this is great. But in a healthy relationship, if we bring up concerns, there's a way for us to talk about those concerns, that we want to hear the concerns out. And yeah, maybe even in a healthy relationship, the other person may become a little defensive. That's normal. But there's a difference between someone being defensive and raging at you for pointing out something inappropriate to them. And you may easily miss, in this quest for establishing the truth, you may easily miss that their cruelty to you in the face of a known or suspected betrayal is actually the real problem. To face down someone who may be lying to or betraying you is a very vulnerable thing for you to do. And the one place that narcissistic relationships, one of the many places, narcissistic relationships always fall apart is in the face of our vulnerability, especially when it relates to their shameful behavior or shortcomings. Healthy relationships can grow and trust can be built at vulnerable times. But narcissistic relationships always miss the boat. But we stay obsessed on our truth quest and we don't see the simple fact. Truth, lie, fact, fiction, that doesn't matter. It's their behavior, their manipulation, their gaslighting, their willingness to make you look crazy so they can look good, smear campaigns, gossip, whatever it is, that's the problem. Forget the truth. The fact that a person will behave this way is the problem. I have been, myself personally, in relationships where infidelity happened, where the cheater raged at me. And I have been in relationships with infidelity where the cheater took responsibility. Both situations sucked. But when there was accountability, and I wasn't being blamed for another person's infidelity, and I wasn't facing down rage, it felt different. I felt safer. I was still angry, but I felt safer. And that matters. When a narcissistic person rages at you while they're betraying you, it can actually leave you confused and self-blaming at a time when you are already being harmed by them. When a person betrays you and doesn't go off the rails at you, you don't feel crazy. You might feel angry and hurt, but not crazy. But we keep getting lost in this grail quest for the truth. The truth, or learning the truth, or them admitting to the truth, it doesn't make it better. And in that truth search, we miss seeing the most obvious red flag of all, which is how we are treated in the wake of discovering there's a betrayal. Because if a simple inquiry about something that left you feeling unsafe in a relationship leads you to being harmed more, that's the problem. Truth be damned. When that kind of stuff happens, the relationship is simply not and probably never going to be safe.